We are through 3 weeks now after Monday Night Football wrapped up last night with the Dallas Cowboys defeating the New York Giants 23-16. Who said my Cowboys were done? I did, but what do you know? 2 straight victories.
Well, I mean, I think you got to give credit here, right? So this is so important because the Cowboys last night played the way the Giants played in the first 2 games. They played not to beat themselves. They're managing Cooper Rush really effectively, relying on their 2 best players, Pollard and Zeke Elliott. You know, if CeeDee Lamb catches the over route, it's probably not even going to be a close game. But I think you got to give McCarthy and the staff credit. Still too many penalties that kill drives and settle for field goals, but they're managing the game exactly how they have to do it. And I think it's a lesson that even as good as Prescott is, like this formula is the formula to win with. Like we've got to make plays defensively. We can't turn this ball over. And sometimes a punt's not a bad play. And I think they beat the Giants last night at their own game.
Yeah, I thought Dallas was really efficient. I mean, 6.4 yards per play. In the first half, they were averaging nearly 8 yards per play. That defense, once again, this pass rush is legit, and I know the Giants have their struggles on the offensive line. Parsons didn't even get a sack, but DeMarcus Lawrence emerged with 3 sacks last night. They had 22 pressures on Daniel Jones, the most he's been pressured in a game in his NFL career. Dan Quinn has really raised his level. Even as good as he was last year, so far this year, I think he's been even better.
Yeah, no, I think he has, and I think his play calling, I thought his play calling last night was outstanding. We never talk about the defensive coordinator's play calling. We never really hit on that, and I thought he blitzed at the perfect times. I thought he had the right, he was playing complementary football to his team, right? So, look, we know Daniel Jones is never going to throw the ball down the field. The dude has never averaged over 7 yards per attempt in his career. We could say, well, you know, people are like, well, he got hit so many times, but he protected the ball. Like, that's some kind of meritorious achievement. He protected the ball. Like, he doesn't make any plays down the field. So I'm watching the game, and I wrote about it this morning for VSiN. I want to ask you this question, Femi. Watching the game, my lead of the column is I watch 2 backup quarterbacks, right? Now, I understand that Jones is one on the Giants' depth chart, but if I were to say to you, who would you rather have, Cooper Rush or Daniel Jones? Who you taking?
At this point, I'm going to take Cooper Rush because I know he's not going to make the catastrophic mistake, and Jones tried to make that catastrophic mistake a time or 2 last night. I know Trayvon Diggs was so close to getting a pick 6, but Jones turns the ball over way too much for my liking.
Yeah, even when he doesn't turn it over, there's still implications that he turns it over. Look, you know, I mean, we'll get to him later, Mac Jones, but the dude turns the ball. When you turn the ball over that much, you can go from being in love with somebody to hating somebody, right? And I just think Daniel Jones, when he has to play fast and you get him in multiple third downs like you do, look, I think that the story of the game, you could say, Lombardi, you just hate the Giants. Okay, fair enough. All right, I don't, but that's okay. Watch Daboll manage the game at the end of the first half, and you tell me how much faith he has in Daniel Jones. Tell me how much faith he has. He's got 3 timeouts, and he's letting the clock go down. He wants to go into halftime knowing he's going to get the ball at 6-3 because he doesn't want this guy to screw it up for him. Like, don't yell at me. Yell at him. He and I see it the same way. They're managing around Daniel Jones.
You can definitely tell that Daboll's coaching with one hand behind his back based on his quarterback situation. And I think he's going to be a good coach. He's shown some pretty good signs early on. The GM, Joe Shane, out there. Like, I think this team is moving in the right direction, but they're going to be hampered with Daniel Jones as the quarterback. And this is his evaluation year. And so far, it's not off to a good start. I don't think we're going to be hearing from the Giants fans this week, though, that were telling us that they were 2-0 last week after their team looks atrocious once again, finally losing to the Dallas Cowboys. But Michael,
I mean, think about this, Femi. Think about this. The Giants have scored 54 total points. The Eagles have scored 65 in the second quarter. Okay? Think about that. All right. Noodle on that for a while, Batman. And then also think about this. The Giants, their whole goal, and I'm not disputing it. I think it's a brilliant coaching job. But their entire game plan is to get the game to the fourth quarter in a 1-score game. That's all they care about.
Yep. Because
they know they can't play any other way, right? So they have to be able to. They're down 13-0 to Tennessee. They're losing 6-3 to Carolina. Or last night they're losing 6-3. Maybe Carolina was 6-6 at half. Okay, so they've scored 9 points in the first half. Okay, They're just trying to manage the game. Now, they're not even good enough on defense to play this way, but they are. They're surviving. So I would say this to you before we get on to the next subject. Be careful on the Giants because it looks like, oh, they're a better team. They're much improved.
No.
But they're going to be in close games all the time. And that line isn't going to be as favorable for them as we move forward. Like this week, they're 2.5. It's 3, maybe goes up to 3.5 with the Colt with the Bears coming down. Oh, that's easy. The Giants will beat the Bears. No. There's nothing going to be easy about the Giants this year. Nothing.
Yeah, they make watching football pretty difficult based on how they go about it. But that's kind of what they have to do. They have to stay in these games, and hopefully things go their way in the fourth quarter like they did weeks 1 and 2. Finally caught up to them against the Dallas Cowboys here in week number 3. Thanks for watching the GM Shuffle with Michael Lombardi. And for more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to VSiN Live and the GM Shuffle podcast with Michael Lombardi, presented by DraftKings and VSiN, wherever you get your podcasts.